Shapiro, here's the Ben Shapiro thing that happened. Shapiro starvingly accepts $100,000 from one of my opponents, then tries to trash me. Sadly, you've trashed yourself. You didn't need my help. It wasn't me. It wasn't the Jews. It was just you. And I'm afraid I'm going to have to agree with Ben on this. We've accepted far more than that from your opponents. DeSantis has rented our list. Trump has rented our list. Virtually every major Republican figure has rented our list at some point. Stupid argument. This is like such a weird thing because they're basically saying like they give away their subscriber base is like private information to the highest bidder. So I found that really strange as a counter argument. It's like, actually, it's not even just that. We give away this information to everyone. I, on the other hand, was not one of them. Let's hear what Ben Shapiro has to say about Kanye West.
It really is pretty impressive stuff. Well, meanwhile, I would be remiss if I did not comment, at least in a minor way, on the President of the United States having a meeting with Ye, the anti-Semitic.
Why not in a minor way? I feel like that's a major point of news for you, right? Like, I feel like that you should, you hate anti-Semitism, right? Like, I thought, why would you only comment on it in a minor way? This is a huge story. Ilhan Omar could say AIPAC has way too much influence on American legislation, and Ben will cut 1 million videos on that. That's not even anti-Semitic. It's just a factually accurate statement, okay? Which he has done. Donald Trump has a literal Nazi in a basically one-on-one dinner alongside another very famous anti-Semite, Kanye West. And Ben's like, man, I mean, maybe we should just talk about it a little bit,
And apparently Ye brought along Nick Fuentes. And Fuentes is, of course, a terrible human being and white supremacist. He, it would be, I think, unnecessary to go through all the horrible things that he said over the course of his brief and troubled career. Just maybe one clip will suffice. He's the kind of person who suggests that the Holocaust didn't happen because you can't bake cookies in your oven or enough cookies in your oven or something. Like, we'll play like one clip of this schmuck just so you understand.
I mean, I cannot believe that I am like almost entirely on board with what Ben is saying currently, by the way. He's right. He is 1,000,000% correct on this. Nick Fuentes is a Holocaust-denying Nazi. It's true.
Understand who he is. This is the person that Ye has chosen to work with. He's brought on two people. He's brought on Milo Yiannopoulos, the disgraced former quasi-conservative who famously suggested in an interview that when men have sex with boys, it may be beneficial for the boys. And then he was basically thrown out.
Yeah, that is what happened. Kanye West has like a pedophilia defender and an out and about Nazi as his two campaign people, dude.
Of all halls of a polite conversation for that. And then he reinvigorated himself, did Milo Yiannopoulos, as an insane white supremacist Christian radical. Like I say that advisedly because I'm very much in favor of strong Christians in positions of public power in the United States. Milo, however, is the kind of person who puts out statements like this. Okay, there's a direct quote. Nick and Ye didn't discredit Trump's 2024 campaign with that dinner meeting. Trump did that himself by having the most boring low-energy announcement speech in history. He did it by continuing to suck the boots of the Jewish powers that be who hate Jesus Christ, hate our country, and see us all as disposable cattle according to their holy book. So that's Milo Yiannopoulos, the guy who...
By the way, that is so ironic coming from evangelicals because the basis of evangelical support for Israel and Jewish people is literally exactly that. Seeing Jewish people as just a means to an end. Because ultimately, like the biblical reasons or like the biblical interpretive reasons as to why white evangelical Protestants are the number one defenders of Israel is because they believe that once Israel is exclusively Jewish, once that land all the way to Egypt is given back to the chosen sons and daughters of God, the Jews, then the rapture will happen. And in that process, okay, Jesus Christ will come back on earth. This is literally the basis. Like, and millions of Americans believe this, by the way, which is insane.
Who now says he is not gay and has seen the error of his ways. And also is,
That's pretty funny. He's talking about Milo. He's a formerly an extremely gay person.
Is a deep enough Christian that he believes that Donald Trump sucks the boots of the Jewish powers. So that's one person that Ye, who said he was not anti-Semitic, but is anti.
I'm not gonna lie, I agree with that assessment from Ben.
That Ye is associating with. The other one is Fuentes, And again, we'll play like one clip of Fuentes just so that people know who we are talking about, one of the most despicable voices in American public life.
If I take 1 hour to cook a batch of cookies and Cookie Monster has 15 ovens, working 24 hours a day, every day for 5 years, how long does it take Cookie Monster to make 6 million batches of cookies? I don't know. That's a good question. Certainly, oh, no. It doesn't really sound correct to me. Wait a second. It takes 1 hour to cook a batch of cookies, and you have 15 ovens, probably in 4 different kitchens, right? Doing 24 hours a day, every day for 5 years. How long would it take you to make 6 million? I don't know. It certainly wouldn't be 5 years, right? The math doesn't seem to add up there. The math doesn't quite seem to add up there.
He can't stop himself. This is it. Nick Fuentes, this is the reason why it is, this is the reason why it's like, he is too much of a brand risk even for the National Republican Party, because Nick Fuentes cannot stop himself from denying the Holocaust. It's such a telltale sign.
I don't think you'd.
So he's a Holocaust denier, and he's a white supremacist, and he's talked about, for example, how much segregated fountains were not bad for black people. Segregation was better for American society. He has suggested that he wants a full Catholic theocracy in the United States. Now, he's half troll. When I say half troll, I mean like 3/4 troll. That's what Fuentes does. That's his game here. But bottom line is that Ye shows up to Mar-a-Lago to meet with Trump, and he brings with him Nick Fuentes, and then Ye reported on this meeting on his Twitter feed in a debrief with aforementioned Yiannopoulos, who's standing there listening to him. We'll put it that way.
Trump was most perturbed about me asking him to be my vice president. I think that was like lower on the list of things that caught him off guard. It was the fact that I walked in with intelligence. So Trump is really impressed with Nick Fuentes. And Nick Fuentes...
No, guys, listen to what Ben is saying, okay? He's not saying Nick Fuentes is trolling. He's saying like Nick Fuentes likes trolling to obfuscate from his actual opinion. Ben Shapiro is not exactly the #1 fan of the alt-right. He's not he doesn't mind the alt-right, you know, the group of individuals that are pretty close to the alt-right but won't say Jews are responsible for everything. But when he talks about Nick Fuentes trolling, he's talking about like how Nick is trolling to hide his true opinions, okay? Like, that's what he's saying.
Unlike so many of the lawyers and so many people that he was left with on his 2020 campaign, he's actually a loyalist. When he didn't know what the lawyers is, you'll still have your lawyer list. And when all the lawyers...
That's how you know these motherfuckers are such sycophants, bro. Like, not even a good bar, dude. Shut the fuck up. Stop saying bars. Stop. Like, imagine having to fucking deal with Kanye West all day, every day. And then he just has to turn around and constantly fucking like add a couple quick like rap lines in there in the middle of his conversation.
Said, forget it. Trump's done. There are loyalists running up in the White House, right? And my question would be,
what is this, by the way? Why did they post this? Talking about Nick Fuentes, and then like there is this fucking there's an interracial couple that is a mixed race couple that is with a mixed race baby, but they're wearing a Trump hat. Like, what is that? What the fuck was that? This is the Proud Boy from Hawaii. Oh, I don't understand why. I don't understand why they posted this. Like, Ye posted this part when he's talking about Nick Fuentes, because like Nick Fuentes is literally a fucking Nazi who has in the past said that a white woman having sex with a black man is akin to a white woman having sex with a dog. He has compared miscegenation to bestiality. Okay.
Why, when you had the chance, did you not free the January 6ers?
Okay, so this is obviously nutty stuff. And what's happening here is that a bipolar manic depressive, Kanye West, who...
Yeah, notice how Ben fucking flipped a switch on Kanye West's mania so quick. He loved it when Kanye was like hanging out with Clandis. And you know, right up until the moment that Kanye started talking about fucking... anti-Semitic nonsense, Ben was so on board. Remember when he did that original video where he was like, yeah, Kanye West, like, yeah, he does have like some level of mental illness, but also, you know, he's saying a lot of sane things, and I think we need to focus on that. Okay, it's not, his conservatism is not linked to his mental illness. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, dude, it is kind of funny watching him squirm. He's like, man, Ben's having his why do all these homosexual men keep sucking my dick moment right now. He's